The man was inspecting counterfeit bills. He started by feeling the paper's thickness, then switched on a UV light and scanned the bill's patterns carefully. Watching him examine the bills so meticulously made the supplier nervous. He rubbed his fingers together anxiously, clearly aware the ruse wasn't working. Despite knowing the goods were faulty, the man didn't leave. Instead, while everyone stood puzzled, he walked straight to a shelf and pulled out a bottle of mysterious liquid. He dripped it onto the counterfeit bill and rubbed it with his thumb. Instantly, the paper changed color. The man now realized it wasn't a production flaw. The supplier was trying to pass off substandard goods as the real deal. Genuine paper currency turns red when exposed to iodine. The liquid he used was iodine solution. His caution wasn't paranoia. It was because his entire family's lives were at stake. Just a day after Mark began his smuggling run, a gang had targeted his family. A thug barged into their home and began harassing his wife, Lucy.
Pretty, you want to play?
Okay, my ass.
Knowing she couldn't block him by shutting the door, Lucy panicked and ran to the kitchen to grab a knife, but she was no match. Within seconds, the knife slipped from her hands. As the thug tried to assault her, a sudden gunshot rang out, and Lucy lost it. The thug was shaken too. He hadn't meant for things to escalate, just to threaten Mark into complying. He didn't want any bloodshed. In a panic, he fled the scene. Relieved, Lucy immediately called Mark, a former insider in this underworld. Mark understood exactly what kind of people they were dealing with. To protect his wife, he asked a friend to stay with her. The whole situation, however, had started because of one person, his brother-in-law, Jack. A few days earlier, Jack was aboard a ship when he noticed a bright light coming through the window. Outside, a helicopter hovered. It was the customs agency. Jack instantly panicked. He knew that if they caught him, he'd spend the rest of his life behind bars. In desperation, he stuffed the drugs into a bag and rushed to the yacht deck, tossing the bundle into the ocean just before the customs officers reached him. Relieved to have gotten rid of the evidence, he even lit a cigarette, confident that without physical proof, they couldn't touch him. In the smuggling world, dumping the goods is an accepted way to save yourself. He then called the supplier to report what had happened, thinking they'd understand, but things didn't go as planned. When the supplier learned the product had been dumped, he didn't argue. He simply turned and walked away, just as Jack and his friends were breathing a sigh of relief.